Should probably open the camera before I try to turn it on. Here on Tuesday, June the 25th. I just looked at that. Don't stay in the brain for very, especially when it's like I fucked myself all up. Trying to get the camera started. It's like, no, I haven't even turned it on yet. You gotta open the little side viewy thingy, as far as I know. But I am here. It's unfortunately laundry day, so for that. And I made some delicious hamburger noodle custard. So that's one of the things Mom brought me the last time she was here. I don't know when it was she actually brought that, but this time she brought some kind of like sausage and cabbage. She calls it a soup. She said technically it wasn't supposed to be a soup, but you put so much broth in it, it's basically a soup, so I don't know. But it's the hamburger and the noodle and the casserole. And the Velveeta cheese, my goodness. But yes, so far I've survived, I guess. 2 days. The week's almost half over. I'm getting there. Yeah, I suppose. Today we did the trash, and then we pulled weeds in the rock garden by the pool, and today it was like a mama possum out at Cave Hollow. We were just going to get the cans, and the one at the far end of the pavilion, I looked in there and I was like, Jesus Christ, because, like, I guess it's not any different than looking in there and seeing trash, because it's like I was going to look and see if there was anything in there that even needed to be dumped. But then I guess, like, it looks up at you, I guess there's difference between seeing trash in a trash can and it, like, looking back at you. And it's moving, This one didn't hiss either, or whatever, but it was much bigger and much fatter, looked to be. And then Peter took it over to the the tree line and laid it down and kind of knocked on the bottom to try to get it out, and of course it's not coming out, so he had to like dump the whole thing. He was like, I was trying not to dump the trash. There wasn't much trash in there, luckily, less than with the small one yesterday at Shepherd, but yeah. So there wasn't that much to pick up after he dumped it. But yeah, this one moved a lot fucking quicker, because as soon as he dumped it and, dumped it over and then took the can off of it or whatever, it kind of like, did its little possum thing and then ran off into the woods. So it moved. So, but since I have to... I still have about another 25-ish minutes before the laundry's done. I was like, maybe I should go ahead and answer today's question. So that's something else that'll keep me awake for half an hour, so that at least, even if I accidentally doze off after I've switched it over to the dryer, all I will have to do is go get the clothes. They will be dry. I will not have to switch them over to the dryer and wait an hour. If I can just stay awake for the next, 25-ish minutes and go over there and switch it over, and, yeah. Then if I doze off and it's 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever, at least all I gotta do is go get the clothes. I don't have to, the work is done. It's just needing to be retrieved, So I thought, on top of, eating something, because usually after I eat something, that's when it's crash hard. So let's see what today's question is. Live in the moment or plan ahead? Well, I feel like I have a shitty answer to this one, because, both can be beneficial. It's planning ahead to go to I mean, any of the little, any of the little adventures that, Sean Merrily and I go on. Like, we're going back to Omaha at the beginning of August, like planning ahead, figuring out, what we're going to do. Like when we went to Chicago, when Sean, Jen, and I went to Chicago, like he overplanned. There was like stuff that he had on his list that we didn't do. Like I guess there was like a couple churches. There's a couple of old churches that you can tour, or I mean maybe not tour, but at least go look at, And then there's the boat tour that goes through the canals, and stuff. We didn't do either one of those. But I wonder if that's the one that also takes you out in the bay, because I remember when we went to Chicago for senior trip, we ended up going out in the bay a little bit. And he was like pointing out the big fancy high rise where like a bunch of people had had condos in it, like Oprah Winfrey and Chris Farley. I was like, well, that's cool. They could be in there right now. They could be looking at us from their window. Being like, oh, look, it's the pores. Quaint. Like, they're so adorable. I'd like to adopt one. Oh, please. I'll take a sugar mama or a sugar daddy. I don't care. Pay my bills. Just let me be free. Just let me be free. Oh my God. Give me DoorDash money. Like, we don't have to talk. We don't have to interact. Just, cash at me. We're good. We're good. So yeah, planning ahead, like kind of knowing, what we're going to do and when we're going to do, blah, 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 to have something to look forward to. But also because of my friend Nick from Nick's Video Diary way back in the day, like he would like, you just never knew. You just never knew. Like he'd message you in the middle of the day and be like, let's go to lunch. Or, the one time, I think I told this story already recently, but like, when, he just messaged me in the middle of the day. He's like, can I borrow you for a minute? I was like, yeah, sure. And so, he came and picked me up, and then we went past his apartment. So I was like, oh, we're not going to his apartment. And then we went past campus, and it's like, okay, I guess we're not going to campus. And then we just kept going, and we went out to it's a local restaurant called Mary Jane's. And I was like, oh, I guess he wanted to go to lunch at Mary Jane's. Okay. And no, it turned out that I didn't know what I was getting myself into. In case you haven't heard this story, I don't want to ruin the surprise for you. But I noticed there was a little group, not a little group, kind of a, mid to biggish size group toward the back of the restaurant. But I didn't think anything about it because, the farmers and their families, like they come in there and, they, Mary Jane's is kind of a popular local spot, So people come in with groups, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But they were getting up to leave just as we were sitting down. And like, Nick took one seat and, somebody else was with us. I can't remember who was with us. But he took one of the other seats. Maybe it was Jimmy. I don't know. So I was going to take the seat that was kind of in the aisle where people were walking through. And I saw somebody out of the corner of my eye, like, oh, somebody's coming, I'll wait for them before I sit down. So then, I glanced up and smiled, I guess. Do people still do that? I feel like, I don't know. I try to do that, like, with my neighbors and stuff, and, like, nobody, like, even looks up and acknowledges my presence. I don't know. But, I guess I grew up in back in my day, generation, So I just kind of, like, looked up and, smiled, nodded, whatever. And the person didn't look at me, but the profile. They had a hat on, a ball cap, and sunglasses, but the profile. And I was like, wait a fucking minute. And then they passed on by, and then, I took my seat or whatever, and I looked at Nick and I'm like, did I almost just run into Kevin Bacon? And he was like, yes! I try to do a Nick impersonation every time I tell this story because he's always very exuberant. He's like, yes! So Kevin Bacon and his brother were in town because they have that band or whatever. And they were doing a concert on campus later that night, I guess, or for the weekend or whatever. And so they went to, Mary Jane's. I guess it was an out of the way local place where they weren't going to get a chance to eat, any other time, you know. And Nick's friend worked there and called him and it was like, you have to get out here. Kevin Bacon is here. Like, get out here right now. So I'm kind of glad Nick didn't tell me what we were doing. I was kind of glad because it's like, that was the last thing I fucking expected. And it's like, just like almost like literally, because I started to go out in the aisle to sit down in that seat at the end of the table. And it's like, then I saw somebody was walking up the aisle, so I'm like, oh, I'll wait for him, whatever. And then it's like, I look up and I'm like, holy shit, that was Kevin Bacon walked right in front of my fucking face. Like, I almost literally, like, ran into Kevin Bacon trying to sit down. So, spur of the moment can also be, like, adventure, You just never know what you're gonna get up to, I guess if there's things that you really want to see, like, we're going back to Omaha for the Museum of Shadows, because that's something we've always wanted to do, and then, like I said, when we went to Chicago, there were other things that Sean wanted to do that we didn't get a chance to do because, we had all these other things that we were trying to fit in just a couple days, So, like, either, I'm like, whether it's a planned adventure or just a spur of the moment, like, I mean, as long as I have money and it's like I don't have, I have time, like if I have a point and I can, or like if I have PPTO and I can call in at work. Of course, now I have 2 works I have to worry about, so it's like, I guess I can't just like fucking pick up and leave the country or something. Like, that has to be planned in advance for sure. Or like, if I were ever to go to, on a cruise or something, like, these are things that would have to be planned. But also, like, oh, let's just go to the city. Like, there was one day where Heather and Blaine were going to the city to do, like, because the new the Funko Pops were being released that day, and they wanted to go see if they could find them. So, like, oh, let's just go up to the city and, have lunch and go pop shopping, popping, locking. Dab. That's what Gail did, a dab. That was his trend. He was trying to figure out trends the other day, so he did like the dab. He said it's one that they used to do. So, I don't remember what day that was. I got behind like 3 or 4 days, for the weekend. Well, Mom being here, didn't quite have time to watch things. So yeah, just like an impromptu like afternoon trip to the city to just go to Target and go to does FYE still exist? It was kind of like an entertainment store. There's also here locally. I don't know how far they are. Oh shit, what's the name of that store? Vintage Stock. They kind of they used to be a Hastings. If you know what Hastings is, the entertainment superstore. People bring used movies, games, CDs, records, collectibles like Funko Pops, and different statues, action figures, whatever. They'll bring them to Vintage Stock and get money out of them, and then Vintage Stock will sell them to other people. We also have a store like that here in town called Rockin' Sports. So if you're ever in the mood, if you happen to be near Warrensburg, Missouri, and want to go shopping for entertainment sort of stuff, gaming, movies, go to Rockin' Sports and get yourself some stuff, I guess. Because, yeah, he has, like, Pokemon cards. He has, Vintage Stock would, too, I'm sure. He has a drawer. I was looking for, what's that thing that Ralphie, the game with the little figures. I don't know. I almost had it. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. Skylander? I think it's Skylander. The little figures that you set on the... There's just like this thing, and you set it on the thing, and then it connects to your game, and you get to play with that character, or get to play as that character. But yeah, he had like at least at one point he had a drawer full of Skylanders you could dig through, So... But yes, so I mean, I am up for whatever adventure I can, afford and take the time off for. So it doesn't matter if it's planned. It's like, hey, let's go do a thing, and then we go do the thing, unless it's laundry, which, how much time do I have left now? 10-ish minutes, and it should be ready. So by the time I get this uploaded, or uploading to YouTube, maybe it'll be about time. I take a bite of my hamburger noodle casserole. But yes, so adventure is adventure. I'm not going to kick any of it out of my bed, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's that. So I'm going to get this going very yowls. So that way if I fall asleep, at least it's on YouTube. And I filmed it today. I still filmed it today. I still feel like that counts. Like, even if I accidentally fall asleep and don't get it uploaded until tomorrow, like, I still filmed it today. So, I'm going with it. But I'm going to get it uploading right now so that it does get to YouTube. And I will see you for when I see it.